Hey everyone, it's Alyssa from Planned Alyssa, and I am here with this week's What I Sold on Etsy video. And it has been a good week for me. I met my sales goal this week, so I'm pretty happy about that. I had 15 orders. It was really 16 items because one was 2 items in the order, for a total of $216 this week. My goal is $200 for the week, so 216 is very nice. And I will show you the shop stats in just a moment. I know I haven't done that in a while, and really the reason I haven't been is because I've been selling books. I have signed copies of my Etsy book in my shop, and so that's not really a vintage item, so I don't include that in my weekly sales, and so that throws off the shop stats, so it's going to throw it off this week too. But anyway, it gives you kind of a rough idea of what's going on as far as the stats go. But I'll show you that, and then I'll show you each of the items that I sold and how much they sold for, but keep in mind that the price you see is just the selling price of the item, so it doesn't include any fees that I paid to Etsy or to purchase the item, and doesn't include the fees the buyer pays to have the item shipped to them. But without further ado, here are the stats. So like I said, these aren't totally accurate, but gives you a rough idea. Just under 3,000 views, split between shop and listing views, 224 favorites, most of those being item favorites, 17 orders, which not quite true, but anyway. Then below that, we just kind of see the graph of when things came in. The weekend was pretty dead, but then things picked up during the week. I guess like Tuesday was my big day. And the first item that I sold this week was a lot of vintage wooden spools of thread. Some had thread on them, some were empty, as you can see in this picture. There were 36 spools in this lot. It sold for $25. This is something I picked up at a rummage sale in the fall. They were actually in a case. I took these out of the case and sold them like this. I think I either have the case listed or I will have the case listed. I'm not sure if it's actually listed right now, but we'll see if that sells too. And then I sold this vintage Mickey and Minnie trivet, a ceramic trivet in a metal frame, sold for $12. I think I picked this up at a thrift store. And I sold this vintage brag book for $10. It's a little photo album with a very cute raccoon on the cover there. I think Hallmark made this. Where did I get it? I don't remember. I've had this kind of a while. And then I sold this vintage lampshade for $20. It's a smaller size lampshade, like maybe for like a bedside lamp or something. Has sort of a circus clown theme to it. It was made of like a paper board printed, and it is in somewhat chippy condition, which I noted in the title and the description. I picked this up at a thrift store. And I sold this little handkerchief for $6. It's got a flowered pattern, scalloped edges. Do not remember where this one came from. And I sold one item this week that was from the clearance section of my shop. It was this file box, which sold for $10. It's a metal file box, a good size one for holding, papers, or I don't know if records will fit in it, but papers will definitely fit in it. It's metal with like a wood grain print on it. I thought it was pretty cool, but I've had it a long time and it hasn't sold, so I had it priced at $20 and marked it down to $10. And then this is a pair of miniature wheat and glass bottles. So these are really small, like, to put on like a little trinket shelf or something like that. They sold for $10 for the pair of them. I think these came from a thrift store. Then I sold this mini lot of 3 plastic Melmac ashtrays, nice bright colors, red, yellow, and green. Sold the 3 of them for $12. The red and yellow ones are a larger size, and the green ones, I guess, a pretty standard size. And these were something that I got in a box lot at an auction. Wasn't even sure if I was going to bother listing them because they're not super valuable, but I did, and they sold. And I sold the rest of those wooden clothespins. I sold one lot not too long ago. This is actually 2 lots that sold. So I had them priced at $9 for a lot of 20, and this buyer bought 2 sets of them, so $18 for the 40 of them. And then this is a vintage cruet set with salt and pepper shakers. Really cool, modern style. Sold for $30. It's glass, nice heavy glass, and then the metal tops and the metal tray that they go in. And I picked this up at a thrift store. And then I sold another one of these vintage postcard photo booklet things. Sold for $6 from Toledo, Ohio. I think I sold one a couple weeks ago. Anyway, as I said in that video, I actually picked up a lot of these along with a couple of other different style ones in multiple quantities. So I still have some available. And then I sold a vintage monogram patch. It says JMJ, sold for $4. I think I picked this up in a lot with some other patches at a church sale. And, you never know with these like monogram things if someone's just going to buy it. I think the buyer had these initials just based on at least their first and last name when I shipped this item out to them. And then I sold this Beatrix Potter figurine. This is Mr. Drake Puddle Duck. He sold for $25. I picked him up when I picked up like a bunch of Beatrix Potter figurines at a rummage sale over a year ago. I think I have like 1 or 2 left after selling this one. And then sold this vintage kit. I think this was a crewel embroidery kit. Sold for $16. It's a kitchen blessing that it has on it. And where did I get this one? This one might have came from a church sale, I think. And then finally this week, this was my only international order of the week. Sold for $12. It's an Gari, I don't know how you pronounce it, but a Japanese company made this mug. It has a very cute, as you can see, illustration of a little mouse on it. There's also more of the design on the back of the mug. And I think this one came from a thrift store. Thank you everyone for watching. That's everything I sold this week. I do put out these videos every week showing the different vintage items that I've sold on Etsy in my shop Planned Alissa, and then try to get some other reselling videos out there for you. I do also sell on Amazon and very occasionally on eBay, so look for those as well. I hope everyone is starting off the new year well, that you're selling lots of stuff and things are going good for you, and I will see you all again soon. Have a happy weekend and happy selling, everyone!